Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Teach and supervise, someone, act as a trainer or coach, 2, as in sports. She is coaching the crew. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. Sports, someone in charge of training an athlete or a team. A railcar where passengers ride. A carriage pulled by 4 horses with 1 driver. A person who gives private instruction, as in singing, acting, etc. Drive a coach. Teach and supervise, someone, act as a trainer or coach, 2, as in sports. He is training our Olympic team. Create by training and teaching. The old master is training world-class violinists. Teach or refine to be discriminative in taste or judgment. Develop, a child's or animal's behavior by instruction and practice, especially to teach self-control. Is this dog trained? A sequentially ordered set of things or events or ideas in which each successive member is related to the preceding. Train of mourners. Wheelwork consisting of a connected set of rotating gears by which force is transmitted or motion or torque is changed. The fool got his tie caught in the gear train. Drag loosely along a surface. Allow to sweep the ground. She trained her long scarf behind her. Undergo training or instruction in preparation for a particular role, function, or profession. She is training to be a teacher. Travel by rail or train. She trained to Hamburg. Public transport provided by a line of railway cars coupled together and drawn by a locomotive. Express trains don't stop at Princeton Junction. Educate for a future role or function. They trained him to be a warrior. A procession, of wagons or mules or camels, traveling together in single file. They joined the wagon train for safety. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. He trained his gun on the burglar. A series of consequences wrought by an event. It led to a train of disasters. Cause to grow in a certain way by tying and pruning it. Train the vine. Exercise in order to prepare for an event or competition. She is training for the Olympics. Piece of cloth forming the long back section of a gown that is drawn along the floor. The bride's train was carried by her 2 young nephews. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. A car that is old and unreliable. The fenders had fallen off that old bus. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. He always rode the bus to work. The topology of a network whose components are connected by a busbar. An electrical conductor that makes a common connection between several circuits. The busbar in this computer can transmit data either way between any 2 components of the system. Remove used dishes from the table in restaurants. Ride in a bus. Send or move around by bus. The children were bused to school. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. An anthology of articles on a related subject or an anthology of the works of a single author. Providing for many things at once. An omnibus law. A vehicle carrying many passengers, used for public transport. Sports. Someone in charge of training an athlete or a team. One who trains or exhibits animals. An agent who handles something or someone. The senator's campaign handlers. Sports. Someone in charge of training an athlete or a team. Someone who controls resources and expenditures. Characteristic way of bearing one's body. A small vehicle with 4 wheels in which a baby or child is pushed around. A railcar where passengers ride. A vehicle with wheels drawn by 1 or more horses. A machine part that carries something else. A railcar where passengers ride. A carriage pulled by 4 horses with 1 driver. A carriage pulled by 4 horses with 1 driver. A long necktie that is tied in a slipknot with one end hanging in front of the other. A person who gives private instruction, as in singing, acting, etc. A person who gives private instruction, as in singing, acting, etc. Act as a guardian to someone. Be a tutor to someone. Give individual instruction. She tutored me in Spanish. Impart skills or knowledge to. He instructed me in building a boat. Make aware of. Give instructions or directions for some task. She instructed the students to work on their pronunciation. Commit to memory. Learn by heart. Impart skills or knowledge to. Get to know or become aware of, usually accidentally. I learned that she has 2 grown-up children. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Gain knowledge or skills. She learned dancing from her sister. Be a student of a certain subject. Impart skills or knowledge to. An English pirate who operated in the Caribbean and off the Atlantic coast of North America, died in 1718. Accustom gradually to some action or attitude. Conveyance for passengers or mail or freight. Simulator consisting of a machine on the ground that simulates the conditions of flying a plane. One who trains other persons or animals. A motor vehicle with 4 wheels, usually propelled by an internal combustion engine. He needs a car to get to work. The compartment that is suspended from an airship and that carries personnel and the cargo and the power plant. Where passengers ride up and down. The car was on the top floor. A wheeled vehicle adapted to the rails of railroad. 3 cars had jumped the rails. A conveyance for passengers or freight on a cable railway. They took a cable car to the top of the mountain. A wheeled vehicle adapted to the rails of railroad. A wheeled vehicle adapted to the rails of railroad. A wheeled vehicle adapted to the rails of railroad. Arrange the outcome of by means of deceit. Rig an election. A set of clothing, with accessories. Gear used in fishing. Equip with sails or masts. Rig a ship. A truck consisting of a tractor and trailer together. Formation of masts, spars, sails, etc., on a vessel. A vehicle with wheels drawn by one or more horses. The act of swindling by some fraudulent scheme. Manipulate in a fraudulent manner. Rig prices. Connect or secure to. They rigged the bomb to the ignition. Gear, including necessary machinery, for a particular enterprise. Equipment and supplies of a military force. A vehicle with wheels drawn by one or more horses. A person whose occupation is teaching.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.